Yo, that place is like, guys, understand that? Like, we're driving past the bridge that they shot Fast and Furious. We are seeing DJ Khaled's Kicks store, Snipes. We're seeing Rick Ross's house. Hey,
It's crazy.
Kuning.
It's crazy.
Hey.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like,
Broadcasting live from the Executive Lounge, starring Mr. Come My Way and Pizzo Coconut Johnson.
got you.
So we're back at the Executive Lounge, and we are with Robot Boii and Lindash.
Yes, sir.
We also we got a chance to learn a little bit about you guys. But P, what have you seen so far from what these guys are doing? Like,
Man, the dancing is electric. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I love that whole vibe and energy. You know, with the dancing. You know, like when we was talking to Kodo, it's like it's so much magic that comes with dancing that it translates to me, and I know it translates to the younger generation. So I love what they're doing, man.
yeah, because you've been talking a lot about that element missing in hip hop.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Amapiano seems to be kind of like that new wave. So without further ado, guys,
Yes.
welcome to the Executive Lounge, man. It's really good to have you guys in the
Shout out.
Thank you guys for
What-
having
what-
us.
how-
Thank you for having us.
How's
out
this
here.
experience been? You know, starting with you and then
Yeah, it's been amazing. Obviously, it's our first time in USA as a whole.
Oh man.
So we're getting to see that, and we're getting to see different cities. So it's like very dope, and it's exciting. Like, I'm all for learning, you know. We're all for learning different cultures, different spaces, you know, different energies,
Yeah,
and just taking Amapiano to the world.
yeah.
And this is Robot Boii too.
Yes.
So I want to make sure.
Yes.
You know, he just started talking, and you know we have two.
Oh yeah,
people.
Robot Boii, ROBOT_BOII DJ Lindash.
Yeah.
So where to?
Beep.
Right.
it's the silent assassin here. I was talking yesterday. This guy, you gotta watch him, bro.
Oh yeah.
You gotta
He's
watch
sniper.
him.
He's sniper
This
action.
Sniping.
Oh okay.
What's up, Dash, man? Talk to me, man. How you feeling, man, so
I'm
far?
all good, man. I'm all good. I'm loving the city. Yeah, the US is just dope. It's great. First stop was Miami. Second stop was New York. That stop was Washington. Now we're in Atlanta. It's so dope.
Yeah, so, I mean, you guys got a chance to experience the version of Amapiano here.
Yeah.
And I know I was afraid, like, Cash has been texting me since last night. He texted me at 4 a.m, like, yo, did they have fun? Because, you know, he really wants to make sure that when you guys come here, you actually see a representation that you can identify and say it's authentic
Yeah.
of what your genre is doing. So what did you guys think about what you experienced
That's so
yesterday?
crazy, actually. And shout out to that, you know, because as much as it's being represented, you never want to misrepresent it, you know? I think when we were in Washington, we were into the embassy and we were speaking to a lady that's traveled to Soweto before. And she was saying, knowing that you guys are present and me having to speak about Soweto, I was nervous because I don't want to misrepresent it. And I was explaining that that's her experience, though, of the place, so she shouldn't feel that way. But yeah, on that, like, it was dope. Like, the energy, the vibe, you know, we felt, you can't say we felt at home, but the energy was, we accommodated the energy to make it feel like home.
It was welcoming.
I don't know if that makes sense. So,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
like, we see what it is here and we appreciate the growth of it. And I think that's why we come here, to also correct what correction needs to be, but also say, yo, this is a real thing. We're from it and we are here and let's do it. So when we leave that energy too, and those dance moves and the chants and the call outs and the vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What city reminds you of home? Have you ran into that city yet in the U.S. that kind of gave you some little, you know, feeling about, you know, at the crib, or you haven't ran into that city yet? Because it's so, you know, the U.S. is kind of big and it's going to take a minute for it.
Miami and Cape Town. Yeah.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
say New York and Johannesburg.
Joburg, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were saying earlier, like, Dubai, there's a Dubai version of what Amapiano is.
Yeah.
In London, I believe.
Yeah.
And now, of course, Atlanta, New York. Like, with those different places, like, what do you think is the stark differences?
I think the obvious difference is the dancing, but of course, it's representation from seeing it on TikTok and applying it, you know? I don't think we have, and I think Limpopo Boy is doing rounds in the country, shout out to him. I don't think we have dance, not really classes like that, because the culture is there. You're seeing how we play. The mixing should be like how we mix. The dancing should be like how we dance. But like, I don't think I can criticize too much because it's growing, man. So obviously I'm from the hub of it, so I can't be expecting like Magube Njalo's level of piano vibing here, you know? Like Magube Njalo's always popping back to Soweto, and that's how we move that side. But like, I think so far so good, and it's as long as everybody's willing to learn and grow, which everybody has been, you know, the energy is so dope, like the vibe. Last night, like, Cat on the mic kept saying, whenever a song played and that has a challenge to it, he kept saying, yo, Robot Boy, we gotta show them how we do it, you know? Robot Boy, show them how it's done, like that, you know? And everybody's taking out their phones, like, okay, let's see how it's done, you know? That kind of energy. So I think it's dope. I mean, London has it on lock, you know, the UK, Amapiano is big in the UK. And it's also ran or helped pushed by other African artists. Other African brothers, like Xavier is an MC from Zimbabwe. You know, he's holding it down that side type of thing, you know, besides everybody else that's doing events that side. And then in Dubai, it was through a brand that we went to, but you could see the people are just willing to learn and just vibe with the energy.
Yeah, the energy is so, it reminds me at the beginning, like, not the very beginning, but some part of the beginning part of hip hop, the energy of it all. You know what I'm saying? It's like it demands you to, you know, kind of let your guard down and just, you know, and feel the energy. Yeah. So I think that's real dope, man. He'll tell you, I loved it when he introduced it to me, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this energy, it reminds me of hip hop when it first came out. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing that you can really describe or say. It's just the energy of it all.
Something you experience.
Right. And plus what right now with the music, that energy is not there. So that's why once it starts growing, it's gonna become infectious. And that's when it's gonna really blow.
Yeah,
I see it.
I think with for people like myself who are like first generation Africans, came here in our teens, right? The reason why movements like this are important and why you see guys like me really trying to find a way to bridge it is because it helps kind of like translate African culture here. Music is such a good vehicle to get the point across, right?
Yeah.
And like Nota was saying earlier, how Americans, you have to be here for them to recognize it in a way. So there's somewhat of a role that Amapiano plays at Afrobeat that's different from what Afrobeat does. So what the outcome for us would be to find as many representations of Africa as possible so people can distinguish what from what. Right. You know? Yeah. Hip hop did a good job in letting you know the difference between the Bronx and Brooklyn. For us, it's all New York. Right?
Yeah,
so same thing with Afrobeat and Amapiano. An American, is could easily just be like, it's African music. But we're like, oh, that's West Africa. This is South Africa. But for us, it's like we want it all to come here so that conversation can be had. You know what I mean? So we just thank you guys for being a part of it. Now, we had Sabu here earlier this year.
Dope.
You know,
let's talk DJ
let's talk about Sabu. Like Sabu, I didn't get a chance to really get more fire.
Right.
And you have an affiliation.
Do you guys know what God is in Xhosa?
Tell us, man. We're here to
What
learn.
is God in Xhosa?
Thixo.
The cat makes that sound. That's that godly dream.
Yeah, but I mean, like, me and Sabu, when we were talking, he was saying the correlation between Kwaito
And Amapiano.
and Amapiano.
Yeah.
And you were telling me as well yesterday,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And of course, you come from a lineage,
a
legend, you know?
Yeah.
Tell us your, you know.
My take on it. So basically, Amapiano is like divided into a lot of subgenres, you know? You get vocal house, you get elements of deep tech and all that stuff. Kwaito included also. So what then happens is that you find also a lot of Amapiano artists also like referencing old music, like quieter music and everything, and then also incorporating that with like the current sound of Amapiano. So that whole that whole combination also just like, you know, it gives like the identity of the sound a boost, you know, because sometimes just like you get an old generation like you also.
I'm an old generation. So I'm a young nigga, man. I'm gonna be a young nigga forever, man.
Yeah,
I'm your big brother's big brother. It's okay.
So you get people who've just like, you know, who have done this before us also saying, this reminds me of this, this reminds me of that. It's because of that incorporation of like the old quieter music and with the current sound. So yeah.
Nice.
That's what you said.
Nah, it's dope, man. I really like the vibe and the energy. You know what I'm saying? That the whole, you know, brings. Like I told what I call it Amapi. You know what I mean? So, you know,
piano.
Piano, yanos.
Yeah.
Yanos.
Yeah. So I think it's, you know, it's dope, and I'd love to see like young, you know, energetic, you know, artists come up who's thinking, not just impulsively doing things, but really thinking about, you know, the culture.
Yeah.
And I know they really standing behind the culture and they pushing the culture forward.
Yeah.
So, you know, that really makes me feel good about this whole art form. And that's why I want, you know, us or, you know, even, you know, Mr. K to help push this forward here in the States. And that was our main goal for this. Because I'm abreast to it, and I know some, but I'm learning more to be able to help teach and push the culture forward here in the States.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why like Pizzo works with kids, right? And like he's been in radio. He's been in radio for over
20 years.
Over 20 years, right?
Shout
So he has seen all these different movements come up. And he was doing radio in DC. Was it? No, in Virginia.
In Virginia.
You're doing radio in Virginia. And, you know, me and him were talking one time and he was just like, yo, I'm not feeling this new music. So when you hear him saying energy, he's been saying energy, this energy is dark with the new hip hop. You know, so him knowing the effect that it has because he works with the kids in the system, he has a program. He sees the effects. So for him, once I've seen how he's taken to this, because he's a music snob, you know?
Yeah.
Like all of us, we like what we like. And you're not really ready to change like that. But I'm excited to see how he's taken to it because just like me, I was like, I love hip hop.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I feel the new hip hop like I do, like I should. But this is for younger people. I'm not trying to knock them, but I feel like Amapiano is kind of like that water that's gonna kind of, I don't know, you know, like.
I hear you, like, because I think the energy behind it is also so pure, man. Like, Amapiano has changed so many lives back home.
Okay.
Like, you an Amapiano artist, your driver's life has changed, your photographer's life has changed, your dancers, your managers, you know what I mean? Like, it's changed a lot, you know? And the energy is so, with the TikToks, the dancing, the wave, the algorithms online, it's just like, yeah, there's just something that lock drum does to people, man.
Yeah.
So it's translated from in studio and what we speak about in studio to, you know, the performances, you know, it relates outwards. And that's why the energy, because you can't cap energy.
Right. You can't.
You know, so it's coming from a proud place too. Like, we're very proud of it as South Africans, and it's like, it's our baby, you know?
Yeah.
So now that it's internationally recognized, or, you know, more of us are coming out, taking it to the world, you know, it has the impact because we're stronger together.
Right.
You know, one of the moments this year that I really liked was seeing when Uncle Waffles performed. She closed the Revolt Summit here in Atlanta.
Dope.
Right before her was Byron Messiah, who was one of the biggest songs of the summer. But she headlined, and the one thing that really stood out was Missy Elliott would not leave until she performed.
Oh.
You know, and Missy would not even leave until they took a photo. So I was able to capture that. It was her, DJ Sabu, and Missy. And Missy was like, you know, she was a fan, like genuinely a fan.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, you know,
That's
like
crazy.
finally,
Missy's
so that's heavy.
goated.
Yeah, I mean, and both of them were kind of geeked. You could tell that Uncle Waffles was
Like, whoa.
because we actually were in the cars already. And somebody's like, yo, Missy is here. And her Bentley, or somebody's Bentley was there. And they took the photo. And she was like, thank you. It's on my Instagram, on my
That's
Subgroup
dope.
Media Instagram.
Yeah.
But it was, that moment for me was kind of like, at least now we have somebody on that stature that's endorsing it.
Yeah.
Another Virginia native. Like,
Oh yeah, P
like
Town
my
all
guy.
day. That's my
You
girl.
know?
She from the P.
You know?
And that's another amazing thing, man. Like, look at the success of Uncle Waffles, man. It's so amazing to watch her whole team too. And just like with regards to piano, like you couldn't have kept that moment even if you didn't want it to blow up. You know what I mean? That viral moment spiraled into something so great that everybody else was able to make work for her and the team, and now she's one of the faces of Amapiano in the world, you know. We saw a billboard with her face
Oh yeah.
here in Atlanta. There was like
Waffles
different
outta here.
artists, you know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
She's
And that's
outta
such a
here.
proud thing. Like even what Tyler's doing with the numbers now, you know, from major league DJs to everybody that's just traveling the world like that. Like, you know, from Pori and Kabza, like it's like dope. It's like dope to see and it's dope to watch. And yeah, man, it's just like it's our time, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your time.
Absolutely.
Speaking of which, your record last night when it came on, I didn't realize how many people knew the words. That salary. You just dropped the video like 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
But did you expect that? Did you think that it was gonna be that evident that people all the way in Atlanta know?
So that's crazy, but again, it's the piano dynamics, right? The song has hype out of the catchiness of robot. Kalipa kalipa. So that's the catchiness of the song. Then comes the challenge. You know, then comes the challenge, the Tsuvu, shout out to King of the Night from Durban. Then comes the music video, which is like paying homage to the soldiers we've lost back home type of thing. But something keeps coming up online that has reference to the song, where it's a school teacher, Mrs. Bullock, dancing with the kids, or it's a small kid trying to do the challenge at home, or it's a sign language interpreter interpreting the song while I'm performing on TV. So things just keep popping up online. And like I said, because you can't gatekeep the internet, I don't know how far it goes and I don't know how far it travels. You know, when we went to the Trace Awards in Rwanda, bumped into Davido for the first time. And he's just like, yo, and he started to, it's like, oh, snap, you know? There's a Chris Brown music video that he did lately that everybody was tagging me on, I think, where he's like in a form of a water AI. And they like almost allude to it. I think their hands are higher or lower, but it's you can tell that that's almost the influence of the dance challenge type of thing. So it's something you never expect because nobody walks in a room and thinks, yeah, they know me, they know my music, they know my stuff. But it's always good to see.
Some do, but you
Well,
that's
yeah,
great,
bro. It's always good to see, you know, like it's humbling, you know, and it's exciting. But that's what we're here for, you know. We need to show the world that Africa is the place.
So, you know, you give us a demonstration of the challenge, too, you know, at some point, you know, because you got some people who might not be familiar with
Yeah.
MLP, and they want to see and learn more about it.
Of course, got you guys.
You know what I mean?
There's too many. There's a hotspot challenge. There's too many.
Yeah. But just give us a little, you know, a sample of what you do and what some of the challenges are that's out here. Now, do you act too as well? Because I was told that you was an actor as well.
So Robot Boii is a brand,
Oh,
and I've explained this. I was explaining this to James earlier. Because if I say I'm an actor, then you see me perform as an artist, but I can't tell you I'm an artist because you'll see me playing drums. I can't tell you I'm a drummer because you'll see me podcasting back home because I got a podcast, Popcorn and Cheese, you know, with Pops and Titi. So I can't say I'm an MC because you'll see me making jokes and creating content or shooting with the cameras or directing. So being a brand for me is the biggest thing. I think I've always tried to teach people that you don't want to chase a career because when you stop the career, it stops you. But if you're a brand, you're able to change careers and still be relevant.
wow.
So like the last time David Beckham played soccer was when? But he's David Beckham.
Right,
You know what I mean? So he
right.
was introduced to us by football, but he was a brand that has been built and is still standing today, even without him doing what we know him or were introduced to him by. So yeah, everything under the sun that has to do with creativity. I think God gave me creativity, and that's just how we move.
Dash, like yesterday, me and you were watching some videos, right? And like if you had to talk to somebody right now, ask Nota the same question, I would hope that you can answer it differently. Because what we're trying to do with this show is like be like a GPS, something that can kind of point somebody in a direction, right?
Yeah.
Let's assume somebody cannot afford a ticket to go to South Africa, but they're on this side and they want to be able to like find the music, know who the true players are. Because just like hip hop, you know, there was the mixtapes, let you know who was who and who wasn't. So it wasn't that hard to tell apart what it is. What would you suggest us from a DJ standpoint? What kind of?
I think what I would suggest would be, so for someone to just like truly understand where the genre comes from and everything, I would suggest that maybe they start like from where it came from, basically. So I suggest that they try maybe listen to like the people that came before, and people that started the movement.
Like who?
So that's like, hey, there's a whole debate about it, but I'm just gonna say names from the top of my head.
But let's give credit where credit is due. Shout out to Mdu TRP.
Yeah. Oh yes. Shout out.
Let's
to
just
Mdu
mention
TRP.
him, and then everybody else can debate it themselves.
So yeah. So
who again? Say his name again.
Mdu aka TRP.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a bass drum on Amapiano called the log drum.
Okay.
So he's the one that came with that bass line.
Is he properly compensated for this?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
it. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
we give him his flowers every now and again.
Good,
and
good,
yeah.
good.
So
Yeah,
he
we're
has
giving him
his
his flowers,
place.
yeah.
Yeah. TRP, shout out, man. So yeah, hey, it's a whole conversation, but from my understanding and from my knowledge about the genre, it would be like your MFR Souls, Kabza de Small is also one of them, Dem Tuda, all those guys. That's where the genre comes from, and Mr. Jay-Z Q, also the Jay-Z Disciples. I think that's one thing that I would advise for them to understand where it is right now. They have to start like where it started.
Do you have your own playlist that you've created that people can?
Nah, but I'll make one.
I think you should.
Yeah,
I'll make one.
I think you should. You know,
That's
because
good.
that's probably your language. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd be dope, and we need to put that on the show. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Playlist.
No, I'll make a playlist. Yeah.
And speaking of playlists, this Thursday you have a show.
Yep.
You get to show us your.
Yes, sir.
The Thursday is tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
We don't know when this will air, but you're gonna do your first show in Atlanta.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm feeling good, man. After the one that we did in DC, we shut it down. So I can't wait for
nice.
this one.
Nice.
We shut it down right
To the
there.
world, man.
So he DJ and produce, right?
Yeah. I DJ and produce also. Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite producers?
Damn. Kabza de Small. And then there's a dude called Sam Deep. I was telling him
Sam
about
Deep,
it
you told me
yesterday.
about
Yeah,
Sam Deep,
Sam
yeah.
Deep. So those are my top two.
Okay.
Yeah,
to them.
Sam Deep and Kabza de Small. Goated.
You have an
Yeah.
American producer that you like?
I know hip hop producers from here.
Okay.
I don't know in the Amapiano space. I haven't met any.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the hip hop space, Metro Booming.
Okay, Metro.
Metro. Yeah.
See, that's the young. That's the
What do
young
you
end.
produce on? What's your tools? What are you?
Fruity Loops.
Software.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fruity Loops. Yeah.
FL Studios.
Yeah, FL Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main one.
Are you big on sampling?
Yeah, I'm big
Okay.
on sampling also. I was just telling you yesterday also that my music is influenced by a lot of Kwaito music.
Yeah.
Because that's what I listen to all the time. So whenever you hear my song, there's an
Bansola.
element or something that you've heard before from the Kwaito era. So my music is just like mainly based on that.
You know, I remember the conversation we had yesterday with you about clothing and how big you are on, I guess, shedding light on designers and fashion people on your side. Like, talk about that a little bit, because I thought it was interesting. I just told somebody about it.
Yeah. So most of what I was wearing yesterday, clean. What we were wearing in DC, Escort, Styler Gang. If you don't see us in Cotton Fest stuff, you'll see us like there's a Ricky shirt under here, Black Coffee, you know. So we're big on local brands, man, because we believe that the success of our brands individually can help them also, you know. I think your big brands have already made it, and you don't know how much a kid who's been dreaming about producing something to a level of Louis Vuitton feels when a Robot Boii is wearing their T-shirt to an Idol's performance or to the States or to a gig at Miss South Africa, whatever, you know. So I think that's what it was for me, like supporting local because of the effect it does. Not much the benefit, you know, because local artists do local good stuff, you know. They do amazing work, and they may not have the finances or the resources to have a stall out in a big mall, but they can be producing from their backyard and like creating some stuff. Like, you know, there's a video I'm still gonna drop where I'm wearing Grade, you know, Grade Africa. So it's like those brands just they look dope and they are dope and they're local. So it makes sense for me to be able to help them get exposed to an extent where people go to the store and be like, yo, can I get that two-piece Robot was wearing at Friends of whatever, or can I get this two-piece or the cap that Robot was wearing from this? And then that's how they grow as local brands. And, you know, we even did a collaboration when I was in Washington with a brand called Karaki. They had a jacket that they did for me, which was pretty dope. Everybody kept saying, this is a nice jacket, it's a nice jacket. I was like, yo, it's from South Africa. They're like, oh yeah, word, from South Africa, all right, you know. So on Instagram, we did a collab post, and that's what it is. That's what it does. Like, even my caption said, if you're ever playing 30 seconds with a friend and the card says Washington, D.C., you better say the place where Robot was at while he was wearing a dope jacket, you know. So instead of explaining too much, you'll know that it's Washington, D.C., because that's where I was wearing the jacket. So that's where my mind is at in terms of collaborations and any local artist anywhere. You know, when we go to Botswana, there's guys that say, yo, I got merch for you. When we go to Cape Town, YGen, you know, it's like, yo, let's do some stuff. When we go to Durban, there's Zat, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of collaborations, you have your own drink.
Yes, sir.
And you opened it earlier, but let's talk about More Fire, because fastest growing energy drink brand in Africa.
Dope.
Right? Am I right? I believe that's the case. I think Sabu told me this.
Yeah. Like
You know.
he said that.
So what's your flavor? Why that flavor?
So my flavor is Flavortron, because Robot, you know. See the design?
Flavortron.
Mechanical. Also, what people don't know is that some flavors don't have a specific taste for you to name it apple. If it doesn't taste like apple, you can't name it apple. So there's a combination of 3 flavors. That's why it's Roboto times 3, because that's the brand. So the combination of 3 flavors, that's why I said Flavortron, and the mechanical design, and the green, because green means go. And back home, Robot means traffic light. So this is my symbol, basically. So even on the chain, the More Fire chain on top, you can see the traffic light. So that's what it is. And, you know, we come far with More Fire, and we eventually got to do a collaboration. And this is can number 11 in terms of flavoring. The 12th flavor is Miss Essay's flavor, Berry Queen. So shout out to Miss Essay, Natasha. We're in the building.
Essay.
Entrepreneur, man.
So y'all. So it sounds like you guys are also businessmen.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So entrepreneurism is really probably the closest thing to freedom. So talk about your entrepreneurial journey. We could start with you and get back to you. But what are some of the ventures outside of what we already know you for that you have your eye on, or you're
Tell them when you quit your job, my nigga.
That's a dope story. Because somebody right now is thinking about quitting their job. So talk to us.
I think it's crazy, man. I did quit my job. Let me get that out of the way. But
we did one international trip. We came back and he said, all right, y'all, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm right. I think it's just like, you know, I'm not advising people to quit their jobs, by the way. No, don't do it. I think it's just like, it's the saying, man. have your job, have that income, but also work on your craft also, and then also just like tap into your hobby. The minute your hobby starts like making sense and makes more money than your job does, then you can leave the workspace type thing. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. Also, I was just like, you know what? I want to tap into this. Yes, I'm taking it as a hobby right now because gigs are not really coming in. But opportunity came. I was ready, hit it, and then did that one international trip. As soon as I came back, I said, I'm out.
It's a wrap.
I'm not going back there. You know. I was just like, man, yo, I'm not mad at myself. Look at where I am right
Yeah,
now,
you're doing
man.
okay, man.
I'm here right now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
Outside.
I'm outside.
No, world tour at that.
Yeah.
What about you, like your entrepreneurial endeavors?
So I want to just add on to what you said now when you were introducing this question. You said entrepreneurship, and then you mentioned something about freedom?
Yeah, being one of the closest things to freedom.
Yes. So for me, it's all about that freedom, man. Like the freedom to like do what you want when you want, but that's in a sense that also has structure.
Yes.
Owning your time, having control of you. In a bigger scale of things, I'll say creative freedom. Like not being able to get here where you guys tell us what to say, tell us how to dress, tell us what to do. We came as how we dressed, brought our own products, we're saying what we want. So that's creative freedom in terms of work. When we do campaigns with brands back home, when we do anything, it's about creative freedom. What is best for you and how does your brand fit into a certain pocket? So the entrepreneurship is that, like being able to own the time, being able to have my team. We got like a team of 7 back home. That's like every day. And then there's an extended team of guys that work behind the scenes. So like when a brand needs a photo shoot, I've got my shooter. When we need to drive to where, I got my road manager. When we need to do this, it's like, okay, my designers, So the ability of freedom, because if you the more you're in control, the better the outcome and the control you have in terms of the expectation on your side too, to do certain things. And being able to build a brand that is trusted, man. Because I think that's another thing we don't talk about. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but if you've let people down so many times, you can't hate on the fact that they can't trust you with their brand or their work. So it's like, okay, let's give this guy this brief. We know he's going to return something dope. And I think with Kelvin, in the cut, he's always made sure that that's always a standard so that no one ever doubts us. Whereas other people, shout out to Kelvin Mercy. So other people, you'll have to sit them down and micromanage their moves because you don't trust. And which speaks to Mo Fire. Like Mo Fire is like, okay, this dude has been rocking with us since we started. And without us even paying him yet, he was just building his own brand. But everything he's done so far is so trustworthy that we can trust him with putting his name on the can, giving him a flavor, letting him design the can, and letting him run, So it's important to be trusted because, the Bible says to be trusted with many, you have to be trusted with little. So, it's biblical, man, these type of things. So, yeah, I think that's it. Being trusted, being able to own your time and own your creativity.
Right. So with the Executive Lounge, man, it's a cultural experience, right? So it's all about, going to different places and flying to different places and all that good stuff. So what are 2 places that you like to go to jump on a flight and hit? You probably never been there or you have been there. But what are 2 places that you would say your top 2 you want to do?
So top 2 that I want to go or have been there before?
Either one. You've been there before.
Miami, Dubai.
Going right back. You even have to think about it.
He just went to Miami too. He ain't even been there long
I think
ago.
he's going back on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Is that
like,
where you're? Yeah.
Yo, like... yo, that place is like... Guys, understand that... Like, we're driving past the bridge that they shot Fast and Furious. We are seeing DJ Khaled's Kicks store, Snipes. We're seeing Rick Ross's house. Yay! It's
crazy.
Kuningi.
That's
They
crazy.
say, hey.
Yeah,
Like,
That's crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, we don't want to keep you guys because there's other things we have to do. But before we leave, the dance demonstration.
Yes.
I mean, you ain't got to do like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's like just instructions. Like
Simple,
Like
okay.
a quick instruction video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instruction video. We need that to be able to.
Because I
got
looked
you.
crazy yesterday. I was like, I'm just going to
we need
watch
that.
you
but
guys.
you were vibing. I saw you were vibing. I was like, yo,
Like you
James was
said.
vibing.
Like you said.
James was in
the
it.
time the party, like,
Chill out.
James was in it.
the party level was
Do the
like,
instruction
the
video.
body level was like on 100. And I look back, James is in all black at 110. I said, okay, let's go.
James was in it.
Assam.
Yeah, man. Like, but yesterday was crazy.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
And again, big shout out to DJ Cash.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Rocksteady. We will be back. We'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it again with Zulu now. Thursday.
Yes.
It's going
At
down.
Negril,
Yeah.
Yanos.
Revolt.
All right. So,
And we talked about Revolt
Oh,
already.
you already talked about it because I know.
Yeah.
are we,
just
are
touched.
we revolting against something?
No. We just going the dance. Let's talk about the
All right,
dance.
so I'm gonna move from the mic when I do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I just want to explain. I
Yeah,
just
we
want
gonna
to
get out of the
explain it
way.
now.
All right.
Broadcasting live from the Executive Lounge,